sat in stunned silence. Tony tried to gun the engine. Nothing. He turned the key in the ignition, but the van refused to respond. Come on, go! It was easy to see that Tony was the most impatient of the group. No, impatient wasn't the right word. He was hot-headed, ready to explode for any reason. Several more tries to start the van. Sue shut her eyes. Darlene tapped the dashboard nervously. Go, go, go! Randy urged the van from the back seat. They were deep in the woods, in the middle of nowhere. It was miles to the lake lodge where they were heading. Tony let out an exasperated cry. He slammed the wheel with both hands. I don't believe this. He shoved open the driver's door and jumped outside. Everyone started talking at once. The air in the van grew steamy and hot. They all piled out. Tall trees rose up on both sides of the narrow dirt road. Brian put a hand on Sue's shoulder. Hey, Sue. We'll be okay. Sue forced a smile, but everyone could see her trembling. Nice night for a walk, Darlene said, rolling her eyes. I love walking miles and miles in a dark forest, don't you? No one answered her. Tony was peering under the hood. He slammed his fist on the fender and cursed. Too dark, I can't see a thing. Since when do you know how to fix a car? Randy said. Since when do I need your opinion? Tony shot back. He bumped up against Randy, fists clenched. Randy raised both hands in surrender and backed off. The discussion of what to do didn't take long. Stay overnight in the van, or walk, and try to find a house or cabin with someone who could help them start it up again. The unanimous decision was to look for help. And so they left everything in the van and, huddling close together, started off along the path through the trees. The only sounds were the soft thuds of their shoes on the dirt and the endless shrill chirp of crickets all around. What kind of nut would live in the middle of a forest? Darlene complained. We'll be walking forever. Unless we're attacked by wolves, Randy joked. Not funny, man. Tony moved to confront Randy again. Randy raised his hands in surrender and backed off. There may be a bigger road or a highway up ahead, Cindy said. She was the optimist in the group. How long did they crunch through the trees? An hour? More? It was hard to keep track of the time. Tony kept his arm around Darlene as they led the way. Brian was big and brawny. He kept mopping sweat off his forehead with the back of his hand as he trudged along. Cindy was the first to cry out. Wow! Look! The house came into view, black against the charcoal sky, as if it had magically popped up from nowhere. Sue gasped in surprise and squeezed Brian's hand. The 6 friends stared at the house, rising like a dark fortress in front of them. Welcome to Dracula's castle, Darlene murmured. It did look more like a castle than a house. Dark towers rose up on both sides of a long sloping roof. Were those bats flapping in the evening sky, circling the twin towers? They trotted toward the house eagerly, although it didn't appear inviting. No lights. The windows were as dark as the night, and as the 6 teens drew nearer, they could see that bars covered every one. Looks like a prison, Randy muttered. Who would live in a creepy place like this? Darlene asked. A rich person, Tony said. A rich person who will help us get going again. Maybe a rich person who doesn't want any guests, Brian said. But pounding on the tall wooden slab of a front door didn't bring anyone to open it. Tony ran along the side of the house, peering into the barred windows. I don't think anyone is home, he reported. Hey, look, Darlene called to him. The door. She pushed the thick door open. Everyone stepped up behind Darlene. She crept over the threshold. Anyone home? Hey, anyone here? She had a sharp, tough voice. She sounded hard, even when she was trying to be sweet. No reply. A few seconds later, they stood in the front entryway. Sue fumbled on the wall, found a light switch, and clicked it. She uttered a cry of surprise as bright ceiling lights flashed on high above their heads. Nice, Tony declared, gazing.